to the Blizzard StarCraft 2 World Championship Series, the combined European nationals. Today we have 16 players who will battle it out for not only the title of the champion for the combined European nationals, but also for $5,000 prize money, and of course also for the 2 slots to the Europe finals. So it is a lot on stake for 16 players, and we have players from many different countries. Now, let's see if I get them right. We have Romania, Portugal, Belarus, Lithuania, and I already have to use my card, South Africa, Austria, Bulgaria, and of course also Switzerland. So it's really a big variety of different players we have here, and they're already trying to warm up, getting their mindsets into the game, and we will go into an expert talk any seconds. But before that, I want to mention again that you guys can go on Twitter and on Facebook and just tweet us, just message us, tell us who you think is going to win, interact with us. We're going to read it out every now and then. And also via Facebook, you have the opportunity to win a StarCraft 2 Collector's Edition, which will be signed by all the players and commentators from this very event. So it's definitely worth to do so. And we will talk about that a little bit more in a bit. But before that, we're going to go over to our 3 experts, which will bring you all the action in game today. And of course, I'm talking about Grubby, Hazuops, and Kalaris, who are already ready, I'd say. So guys, let's talk a little bit about the tournament. Let's talk a little bit about the structure of the tournament beforehand. We have quite some steps to go to already where we are now, and also it's going further. So Grubby, explain the structure of the championship series to us.
Yeah, the Blizzard WCS, the World Championship Series, is one of the most comprehensive tournaments that we know of right now in esports. It's a very grassroots approach. We basically have pretty much any country being able to be eligible to participate in any of their respective national qualifiers. So all over the world, people are trying to qualify through national qualifiers. A number of winners will make it to their regional continental finals. And these are once again tournaments in their own right. And there will be a number of winners at the continental finals, and they will in the end flow through to a world finals. So basically anyone has a chance to play. No matter if you're in a pro gaming team or you're a complete new beginner, if you perform well at one of your national qualifiers and you keep flowing through and you keep growing and evolving during this process, you will be able to be the next world champion of the Blizzard's WCS. So very nice system, gives everyone a lot of chances, and there's a prize money to be won and fame every step along the way.
Yeah, and you're one of the players who already received it. When you came first for the Netherlands, so you are one of those champions. Yes. So actually, yes, let's talk. What you're laughing about? Let's talk a little bit about the tournaments we've seen before. We've had the Netherlands and the Belgium nationals. We had the Germany just recently. So, Kalaris, you have been one of the guys who has been on all those tournaments to cast them. So let's make a quick run through all of them.
Yeah, it's been pretty fantastic. We've seen a lot of players come through that you may not necessarily be on a bigger stage, as Grubby's just outlined. But say for the Belgium and Netherlands, for example, we already saw this guy over here doing pretty well during that and was able to take out Rhett in the finals, although Rhett will end up going to that Europe final even. And then over in, say, like Poland, for example, we saw Mana and Nurtio battling it out for their top spot. Admittedly, both of them will go on to that Europe final. But Nurtio was able to pip Mana at the post once again. And then, again, recently we've been at the Germany Nationals, where we had... like surrounded by really good players. This is crazy. We had Hasu going up against Soccer in the final thing, but we also had Dark Force as well as Kras, I believe it was. Yes,
yeah,
Kras.
It was Kras, yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of very, very strong players already going forwards, and we'll see if some are going to be able to go forward too.
And that's cool because you have a lot of established names like Hasops and Soccer who have done really well in the German scene. But then Kras, he's kind of like this new guy, and that's the kind of thing that WCS also really embodies, I think. Not many people would have said, yeah, Kras is definitely going to qualify, but he came up there and he did it, so wonderful.
It is indeed. And let's see who is making his own story in this very tournament. Hazu, maybe let's go over the players we're going to see this time playing. We have 16 players from 8 different countries this time. So let's just go quickly over them.
I think actually the big favorites here are Night End, Biggs and Lowly. And there are a lot of unknown players, I'd say. Not for me though, but I think for most of the players or for the people who will watch, there are going to be a lot of unknown players like Safa, Aru, and some others who are actually pretty good, at least in the ladder. They didn't show too much in tournaments yet, but here it's time to prove, and let's see how they do.
Yeah, and I really can't wait for the tournament to start, and I'll let you guys getting ready to show us the first game any second, and you, good sir, are staying here with me, and we will be talking a little bit more about what the guys can win via Facebook, and also afterwards we're going to go over the map. So thank you guys very much, and we will see you anytime soon on stream. So Grubby, as we as I mentioned just before, we do have a little bit of a treat. Yes, we have a little bit of a treat for everyone, so let's just put it up there. We have this beautiful collector's edition of StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty. And it is signed by all the players, and I think it's time for you to sign it as well. As it's not complete if there's not at least your name on it.
I'll sign it in that other room, and then you hope it's still there when we get back? Okay.
No, you have to do it now.
All right.
As a proof that it's your signature, not just me trying to make them all up. Are you drawing into someone else's?
Nope.
No, it didn't happen. Well, I will sign it in a second as well. So this is what you guys can win, and how you're going to do that is what you're most likely going to ask now. It's very easy. Go to the ESL TV Facebook page, and then you just write there, or not right there, do something. Show us why you love StarCraft so much. Like, show us how much you love StarCraft. Bake us a cake. I mean, you have time. We have the whole day. Bake us a cake, make a poem, sing something, make a video, draw something, like anything. Be creative. Show us how much you love StarCraft, and then we will pick a winner. You just have to go to the Facebook page of ESL TV and post it there. So what would you do to show us how much you love StarCraft 2?
Well, I think I'm already showing it.
Well, you do.
I'm casting, I'm pro gaming, I'm doing everything I can in StarCraft 2 esports. I think I would just show my Wikipedia page or something.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually, you're very right about that. He already proved us. So now it's time for you guys at home to prove how much you love that lovely game. And yeah, tournament will start any minute, and we will take a look at the map votings now. The first match we're going to see is Safa against PandaTank. So let's talk a little bit about the two players. It's going to be a ZVP, as we will have quite often, I think, in this very tournament. We only
may happen again.
It may happen again. May or may not see that again on stream. We only have one Terran.
Yeah, there was supposed to be another Terran, but he couldn't make it. He got replaced, so it's good. We still have our 16 players here. There's one Terran here, Fargo, but for this tournament, we
have 8 Protoss players and 7 Zerg. So yeah, it's still going to be interesting to see the guys playing it out. So I think they're on the map votes as we speak. PandaTank versus Safa.
On the left, we've got our good old administrator / referee David. Sean in the middle, and on the right we've got Safa. Cool thing about this, we're at the combined European nationals, I should say, combined European nationals, but they also saw fit to include a number of other countries which are not strictly speaking European, but that's just really great because that gives them a chance to qualify too. And lo and behold, PandaTank from South Africa actually managed to qualify. So very cool. He did qualify for some previous World Cyber Games, I do believe, as well. Here we have him on the left, Safa on the right. Map vetoes. We see Antigua Shipyard and Tal'Darim have been removed by PandaTank, the Protoss. And Safa, the Zerg, he removed Shakura's Plateau and Cloud Kingdom.
So what do you think made that decision for Safa?
For Safa, well, based on the maps that he removed, we should say that he doesn't like kind of smallish maps where there isn't a lot of room to maneuver, where it's relatively easy to take and hold an expansion with a Forge Fast expansion for a Protoss player. So obviously on Cloud Kingdom, there is a relatively small entrance to the natural base, and the same story on Shakura's Plateau. So maybe that alludes to something about what he's going to try in his playstyle in this match.
So would you reckon that one of those guys would be seen as a favorite going into this match?
It's so hard to say because we see players here who don't necessarily get a chance to go to tons of lands and visit all over the world at different tournaments. So, you know, both of these players haven't been on LAN that much. It's so hard to pick a favorite here. They both won a qualifier. They both qualified their way here. And this means that anyone could do it. It's going to rely a lot on tournament nerves, on their shape, on their practice, and I'm afraid we don't know enough. We have to see it first. These players, obviously, most of their practice is in secret.
It is indeed. It was rather hard to actually find out stuff about their playstyle. Like, I mean, I went through tons of replays to just like kind of get a gist of how the players will be playing it out. But for some of them, I didn't even find replays. It was just impossible. I'm not sure if this is a part of their strategy, like just like I'm staying in the shadows, I'm not letting them know what I'm ever going to do. Or maybe it's just like really that hard to find anything out about them. So yeah, we will see, and that makes it all the more exciting for everyone watching. Yeah, we will start with the first game any second, and that will be brought to you by Kyle Arias and Hazup. So let's give it over to those guys.
Thank you very much, Zoe. And yes, welcome one and all to the World Championship Series Combined European Nationals here. Again, my name is Kyle Aris. With me, Hasu. How are you doing, Hasu, today? You doing good?
Yes.
Good.
Germany won yesterday.
Oh, we're starting off with that, are we?
No,
well, that's pretty
really
good.
Yep.
I'm not that into football, sadly, so I don't really know too much about it.
Today it's about StarCraft 2.
Today is about StarCraft 2. And we're going to be kicking things off with that PVZ, like they mentioned.
Indeed.
So, indeed you do. We have PandaTank and Safa even. Safa is on the RoX.KIS junior team, I believe. One of the up-and-comers for RoX.KIS. Have you been able to play against Safa in the past?
Actually, no, I didn't play against Safa. I only played a few times against PandaTank, which obviously is PvP then. So I'm not too familiar with his PvZ, but as far as I know, he likes to play 2-base stuff. Because I remember I lost to a Zerg in a tournament. I think it was just play him or something, and afterwards PandaTank won against that guy, so I asked him afterwards, like, hey, what did you do? So I talked about with him a little bit about strategies, and yeah, I'm very curious to see him here, because he's one of the few players from South Africa, like who are doing kind of good.
Arguably the strongest South African.
I think so, yeah. Most probably, yeah.
And, I mean, you were saying that PandaTank was utilizing a lot of kind of 2-base potential styles in this matchup. I mean, in terms of the matchup, just in general, how do you feel about like PVZ right now? Do you feel that, because again, there's a lot of relative controversy in the, you know, in discussions and things like that, well, Protoss are just kind of going all in, but then a lot of people say that it's hard to really kind of go up against the composition later on. How do you feel about it, really?
I think it depends on the map a lot, and actually on the player's playstyle. There are some Zergs who are really good in the late game, almost unbeatable, I think, if they know how to spread their Brood Lords and stuff, and how to utilize Fungal and maybe even the Parasite of the Infestors. And yeah, let's go ahead and...
Anyway, it looks like, as you can see on our graphic, guys, we do have the road which Safa took to be able to qualify for the Combined European Nationals. Already took out... Actually...
Yeah, that's very impressive, because he won against Death Angel, and Death Angel is currently in Korea, as far as I know. At least he practiced in Korea.
This is what I was going to say. Yeah. Death Angel is... That's relative upset, because Death Angel is very strong right now.
Indeed, yeah. He's from Romania. Death Angel's from Romania. He and Night End are, I think, the strongest in Romania. And they both have been in Korea. So, yeah, that's a pretty strong result. I mean, it's ZVZ, so the matchup is a little bit fragile, but overall, it's a very strong result, yeah.
No, indeed. So, big congratulations to Safa there for being able to head to this championship. As you can see, we do have PandaTank here, who was able to take... Wow. Actually, he had a really nice road on the way as well, taking out Monchi and Lions, who was actually one of the replacements here. So, and taking out Monchi is no joke, but again, PvP.
Both actually made it. Monchi is here and Lions as well, so yeah, we do see a lot of players here.
We do.
Everyone has a chance. But yeah, PandaTank proved himself a lot in PvP, because I think Lions is Protoss as well, if I'm not wrong. So let's see how his PvZ turns out to be.
Believe he is. So we are going to get into the first game here, ladies and gentlemen, for the Combined European Nationals, as we will be getting loaded up onto Daybreak for the first map of the day. So let's get those players going and check them out as we move into the first map on Daybreak. And as you can see, down to the bottom left-hand corner, we will have our first player spawning as our blue Protoss. He goes by the name of PandaTank. And up to the top right-hand corner, we do have the red Zerg, who is going to be going by the name of RoX.KIS.Safa. So, Neat. Daybreak, how do you feel for this map, just in general, for this?
This map is great. It's overall, I think, probably the most balanced map in StarCraft 2 right now, and I really like it as a Protoss in all the matchups. And it's good against Zerg for playing 3-base, but also 2-base can be very strong here. So PandaTank has the choice to either go for a quick third, or if he really likes to play 2-base stuff. On the other hand, the Zerg, if they scout very well, they're gonna find out pretty early what's going on. So both have equal chances, I'd say. And usually it's very... Oh, interesting. He's trying to catch the probe there.
Yeah. Now, I think that here PandaTank has kind of got the information that he wants, like in terms of the timing of the spawning pool. And does this trigger Protoss to do anything differently from here, for example? Or?
Well, the spawning pool is completely standard timing. Yep. It was at 15, I believe, and the probe does see that there is no gas going up yet. So he can, well, he knows that there is no very early banelings, no very early speed or roaches, so he knows there's probably going to be a hedge at the natural, and most probably a hedge at the third very quickly as well. So they're like total standard opening by Zerg, unless Safa is planning something very crazy, but I don't think he will, because he's trying to set the hedge now. He's getting pylon block, which is always a nice trick to delay the hatchery a little bit longer. Will now finally scout the third base of the Protoss.
That's a big wall.
Which is, yeah, it's very late because the wall is already up. 3 cannons, 4 gateways, so it's actually, yeah, it's 4 gateways and the Nexus. And some sentries waiting. So, it's pretty late for Safa to react to this third. I would, recommend to Infestation Pit and maybe taking a 4th right away. Like, making a lot of drones now and taking a 4th right away would probably be the right choice. Because I don't think he will be able to pressure a lot, to be honest, because the wall was already up. There was no pokes before. 2 Immortals are up, the 3rd one is on the way.
Do you think because he invested a lot into that wall that Safa might feel that there's maybe the option of him actually pressuring that and there may not be being a huge army behind that if he hits really quickly? Or is that... I mean, you normally don't see the wall quite like this at the 3rd on Daybreak. You normally see maybe like a few gateways with the Nexus incorporated into the wall.
To be honest, I like to wall like this as well, because if you wall with the Nexus as part of the wall, Zergs really like to click on the Nexus with the roaches so they can kill it right away. And in this spot, to be honest, I think that PandaTank is really safe. There's Immortal at the 3rd, there are units that there's natural, Sentries, Immortal, Stalker. So his unit split is very good. And we have to keep in mind he has 2 observers, one of them is close to the natural, so he always will spot the Zerg. The army movement of the Zerg, which is obviously very, very helpful. And he's getting Blink now, so he gets more mobile. I mean, it will take a while to get Blink.
Looks like he's going to constantly poke forwards and backwards at these 2 locations. It's nice for the Zerg at this point to, try and stretch your opponent thin. Nice force fields. We'll be able to split in a few of those Zerglings. And for now, though, Safa are going to be moving up to the top. But this is, again, as you rightly pointed out, that a lot of that army movement was spotted by that observer for a given point.
And if we have a look on the economy, we have 71 probes against not even 60 drones. It's 58.
Wow.
So this is huge. It's actually... it's hard to say it's an all-in by Safa because he's on 3 base, but like his saturation is not the best at all. And if he doesn't make any damage right now, if he doesn't do any damage right now, it's going to be extremely tough for him to stay in this game.
And I also think it's really important to note that the upgrades also for Safa right now are not being really condensed anywhere. It seems as if he's really committing to this, saying, well, I'm not going to play for that late game, as you just pointed out, and just kind of wanting to kill him here and now. He did get that +1 carapace to maybe ward his Zerglings against like +1 Zealots for a time being, but right now it's not. It's looking a bit scary if PandaTank's able to get up to his kind of like very strong composition, say with +3 weapons.
Indeed, and he's even getting starting to make Colossi right now. I mean, Safa got the tech with Infestors up, but Infestors in this kind of scenario where you try to kill your opponent is probably not the best choice because they only have 3 funnels right now. It's only 3 Infestors, so each of them have 1 funnel. But it won't be too much damage. So I don't know. I'm a little bit surprised. And
Yeah,
I do like this choice. Yeah, he's getting drop and speed for the Overlord. So
Yeah.
he's trying to sneak around the ramp, but let's be honest, it's pretty late for that because the Protoss has Colossi out. He's about to max. He's at 170 food right now, and now he's using the funnel on the Observer. That costs him a lot of energy.
Does indeed.
At least it clears some of the map vision of PandaTank.
Well, I mean, do you think he's just going to go for a massive drop into the main here, trying to kind of divert?
I think he has to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love, like, if you go to the vision of PandaTank, he constantly is checking the main base of Safa, so he does see that there is no hive. And if you see there's no hive, even though there's an infestation pit, you know that the Zerg is up for something, like he's trying to kill you somehow.
Yeah.
So he knows making a lot of units, and it's probably the best choice. And there we maybe see the big engagement. And I really have to say, the Protoss army is extremely scary for the Zerg.
It really is. Force fields go down, trying to steal in as much as they can do. We did get a nice fungal growth on those Colossus, catching them a little bit out of position. But right now, the Zerg army is completely separated. Does snipe out one of those Colossus.
Yeah.
And the Protoss retention of units here is just too strong. And
He could blink forward. Yeah, there we go. Blink forward. He's going to snipe the Infestor. He's going to snipe some more Roaches. +3 is on the way. If he sends a probe right now, he can probably... Yeah, there we go. We do see a probe coming from the natural, so he will... Oh, he's actually going for a 4th.
Oh.
I just want to say, he can probably finish Safa
Yeah.
if he attacks now. But yeah, I mean, that's the safe option. And this actually gives Safa time to drop, because he's getting all his Overlords filled right now. Wow, there's a lot of Overlords. It's like 20
really
of them.
is. Here comes the Armada for Safa. Meanwhile, PandaTank has been able to keep a good eye on what's going on in his opponent's main, sees the Hive morphing in, sees the layer already going down, but he does not have a clue about this imminent drop coming in from Safa. This might do a little bit of damage.
His whole army is out of position, so it's either you attack now or you go back and defend. He's deciding to go back and defend. He's losing a lot of probes. He lost like 20 probes right now, and he's losing his Colossi,
Colossus will die off. Very nice little snipe out there from Safa, bringing him a little bit back into this. Right now, he is being able to absolutely ravage the main. A few units at the front trying to kill off a little bit as well, but the Blink Stalker's on their way. Is he going to be able to clean this up?
Yeah, he will be able to clean this up. The question is, how many Stalkers will he lose? And probably not too many. He's losing the Nexus, though. So at this point, PandaTank will probably move out and try to attack. And let's have a look in the middle. There are 5 DTs warped in, which are going to the 4th base of the Zerg,
wow.
where is no 4th. So PandaTank will feel very good if he sees that there is no 4th base. Because you know, it was 3 base against 3 base for a long time. And he just cleared his whole army from the Zerg. And we do see Safa has some macro problems.
Well, the big thing here right now, though, is that PandaTank, I mean, Safa has no vision at this base.
Yeah.
He's going to actually snipe out this hatchery very, very fast.
Yeah.
But he did get, actually a nice fungal, but it's still too little too late.
He can make, he could have done 1 transfusion, but it wouldn't help, I guess. And he has 3,600 minerals, so he doesn't have the gas to build any useful units right now. He can only make Zerglings, and Zerglings against that army is not the thing you want. Oh, he's losing some Infestors in the middle there. So he has a lot of Infestors up the ramp, so he can probably stall some time. No. Pretty nice blink. Yeah, he's gonna get some more Infestors. He's walking up, force fielding, and this is looking really good for PandaTank.
Yeah, it is indeed. Those DTs also killed off the kind of coming fourth. And but there you go. GG for game number 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
PandaTank.
The timing of this attack, I mean, it was pretty logical to attack after you lose your main Nexus, but it was still very, very good because Safa was just in a transition to Greater Spire, and he had almost no gas, so he spent all his gas to upgrade the Greater Spire and to get some more Infestors out. So he didn't have any Corruptors to morph them into Broodlords anyway, so yeah, solid play by PandaTank, almost no holes in there. Like, he got the 3rd without any problems. And then he defended very nice against this 2-side attacks from the natural and 3rd.
Yeah.
And the drops, I mean, I think drop is a good idea against 3-base Protoss in some cases. But in this case, it was just too late.
It did feel like that Safa, though, wasn't necessarily playing for, again, he wasn't playing for the late game. He didn't have those upgrades going. Indeed. He didn't have a 4th base going up. So he was putting a lot of his hopes on that mid game. And then when it came to the late game decisions, it was all very reactionary. And even if he were to have got the Broodlords out, because he hadn't got that many upgrades going through the mid game, it wouldn't have been as kind of deadly or as strong as you normally see in this matchup.
Indeed. That's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, I really think when he spotted the third and he saw there's already a wall, there's some cannons and sentries sitting behind it.
Yeah.
You can poke with roaches a bit. I mean, that's not wrong because Protoss needs to be a little bit scared of the Zerg that he's trying to kill you. But he should have, I think he should have made a fourth right away and maybe attacking a little bit earlier. Because PandaTank, at this point, Protoss is very fragile because they don't have a lot of units and they have to spread out to defend and stuff. So if the Zerg is kind of greedy at that point, it should work out. Unfortunately for Safa, he tried to break the lines, and there was no way he could enter like the third or the natural. So all the units he made could have been drones, obviously. So he was very low on drones all the time.
He was indeed, especially when we saw that he had 71 probes to like a failing rising number for Safa there. But anyway, let's get into game number 2, ladies and gents, as we do have the winner of our previous game. Is PandaTank going to be spawning here as our blue Protoss. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, he has it all to play for, or else he will be demoted to the losers bracket. He is RoX.KIS.Safa, going to be spawning here as our red Zergy. So again, we're on another nice big 1v1 map, Ohana. In relation to how you would normally see this matchup play out on Daybreak, for example, how do we normally see it go on Ohana?
It's funny because Daybreak and Ohana are kind of similar for the Protoss. You can take a third base fairly easy, I'd say. Yep. If you clear the rocks between your natural and your third, you always have the right pathing there, and the walking distance between natural and third is not too far, so you can take a quick third. And I think PandaTank, he felt very, very confident with his strategy. Yeah. So I think he might is playing the same again because like everything was going very fluent for him. There was like no holes in it, and yeah, Safa was not reacting right to that, so wow, that was pretty nice. Like canceling the piling and so he gets the Nexus a little bit earlier. Yeah. And Safa was pulling away his drones, so
I was surprised because I assumed he was going to send probably one drone down to the third location.
Indeed, yeah.
Because this would have been blocked for quite a while. But then again, maybe again the third would have been blocked for a while by this probe as well. So
yeah, but you should try it at least. I think
because in game 1 he actually got pretty lucky with that. He got the hatchery down a little bit quicker than he should have done because of a miss rally on the probe. So anything can happen in that.
He made 6 Zerglings. That's 2 more than you usually see. So I think he tries to run by. At least he hopes for it. Or the cannon is on the way. Yeah, it's at.
There's no probe here, though.
Yeah, he could try to run by. I mean, actually, if the cannon hits the overload first, actually he will run by. Oh my God!
There's no.
Let's see how many Zerglings he gets in. 4 of them, I guess.
Normally, it's very common. You would see a probe there to be able to throw down a building, had to be able to block that off. But Safa taking advantage of that, and when this happens,
he will
for
sneak
Protoss,
in. Yeah. I mean, PandaTank should have seen that coming because 6 Zerglings is not the common number. And now he has to pull a lot of probes, and if Safa is doing that very well right now, he will stall a lot of mining and maybe picking off 1 or 2 probes. There, the first probe is down, and he's denying a lot of mining because the Protoss has to pull probes all the time, and he has to be very careful that he doesn't lose more. There's a second one going down.
I mean, aside from this, I'm surprised we're seeing a pylon over by it. Safa's actually natural here. But at the same time, we do have those 2 probes already down. He is currently
maybe a third
dancing.
one. There's a very low on HP. Now there's finally a Zealot, but keep in mind the Zealot is not as fast as the Zerglings, so Zerglings can still outmaneuver the Zealot there. And maybe try to pick off 1 more probe. He's trying to go in once again. Let's see. He's just walking around.
It's a good. I mean, not only does it annoy the Protoss in terms of income, but also it's very annoying to like have these Zerglings running around when you want to like throw tech down, for example.
Indeed.
You don't necessarily want your opponent to see exactly what you're doing.
Indeed, especially for Protoss, it's very important to hide the tech as long as possible. Yeah. The Zerglings are stuck. 1 of them might go down. Yep. So it's 3 left, and keep in mind that he lost. Oh, now he's not microing them anymore, so he lost 2 more. Keep in mind that PandaTank lost a lot of gas time. Like he didn't mine gas for a long time because he had to micro his probes a lot. Yeah. So his tech is delayed at this point. He's making a Stalker to clear out the last Zergling. Because if Safa takes care of the Zergling, the Zealots will not kill it.
I almost have a heart attack every time it just kind of stops and goes away. But they go. Ooh.
So he's checking his natural.
Trying as best he can.
Wow, it's a hero Zergling.
It really
Scouting
is.
a lot. He didn't get hit by a cannon, so he's trying to walk once more into the main base, and he will probably succeed. No, the Stalker will clear him. The Zealot.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the relatively standard Roach Warren timing going down here. In fact, very standard Roach Warren timing.
Oh no,
for
the
Safa going
Overlord.
down. And he's going to be able to get an Overlord? That's a bit of an annoyance.
I just wanted to mention, I wonder why there is no Overlord in this hole, in the middle, like top middle. There should be an Overlord in this hole to scout the...
Oh, he didn't get it.
He will get it, I think.
I don't... If he positioned that perfectly, I'm pretty sure that...
But with the Xalnaga Tower, you have vision there.
That's true.
So yeah,
that's true.
He would have got it anyways. I mean, it took him a little bit longer. So Safa, again, has no Overlords around the Protoss base, so he won't be able to scout anything. This is very surprising for me. If you send the first 2 or 3 Overlords towards the Protoss base, there's no Marine, or like you don't have to be scared of anything which can shoot up in the air.
Yeah.
Unless the Stalker comes out, but you always be able to check the timing of the core. So I really like what PandaTank is doing right now. He's faking a little bit of aggression. He forced some roaches. It's only 5 of them, so they could be the normal safety roaches.
Yeah.
If you want to call them like that.
I think they probably were, just in case.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, he delayed a lot of what was going on with those, well, just for a little bit with those Zerglings. And normally you would get that Roach Warren time for, say, for example, a +1 4-gate kind of poke with Zealots. But I like the way he's playing in terms of precaution. I think that's very, very important.
Oh. And this time we see the Robo again. And it's actually more than 5 roaches, it's 8, and he's trying to be aggressive here. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, because if he gets force... Yeah, okay, I just want to say, if he gets force fielded, everything will die. So I wanted to mention, he got the Robo at the same timing, but this time he's making Immortals instead of Observers. So this, I think this will be... Yeah, he's adding more gates. So I'm pretty sure that he's trying to fake a 3rd, but then he will commit and try to kill the Zerg.
Yeah, because as soon as I saw these rocks being killed as well, I mean, technically he could go for a 3rd in terms of an expansion with Immortal, and then maybe, tech up behind that, but with this many sentries and like the fact that he was Chrono boosting out Immortals before, and he's getting a Warp Prism as well, so he's going to get aggressive.
It's definitely an all-in right here.
Yeah.
He's up to 7 gates. He spent a lot of Chrono boosts on his gates and Robo. Oh, nice force fields there.
Oh.
Getting 5 roaches. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't upgrade +1. Like, he does have the minerals and the gas and the Chrono boost, so I'm a little bit confused there. But we have to say, Safa has no creep spread at all.
No,
and
not even between the 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, and the rocks are still up, so he cannot defend his 3rd if PandaTank decides on going to the 3rd there.
And he realizes that he needs those rocks down right now in order to be able to reinforce back and forth between there. And at the moment, I mean, it looks like Safa, meanwhile, is also committing more to a mid-game, getting that +1 range weapons along with the Glue Reconstitution for those roaches, but he really, really needs that right now. And that +1 finishes up just in time, but will he be able to hold?
Roach speed will finish in 5 seconds, so he needs a little bit more time before he can engage here. Good force.
Lovely force field, but at the same time, there's a lot closing the gap, and there is so much actually being zoned out there. Units coming in from the back as well. He wants to try and kill the Immortals. They're doing a huge amount of damage.
Safa tried to retreat there and lost a lot of more roaches in the process. The Immortals are in 7 and 5 kills already, so they're doing their job against the roaches. He doesn't have any more force fields, but the roach count is pretty low at this point, so I think... let's see.
He's losing a lot of those sentries though as well. Indeed. They're not going to be able to stock up that much energy. There are a few left alive at the back though. PandaTank playing a little bit cautiously, moving back slowly with that Stutter Step to try and kill off what he could do while saving a few of his units. But at the same time, again, this force is so strong by PandaTank. Is Safa going to be able to break this?
It will be very hard. I mean, the thing is that PandaTank doesn't have +1. So his army is a little bit weaker than it should have been. And he doesn't have any more force fields, so if there are a lot of resupply coming for the Zerg, and he does have a macro hedge at the 3rd, so he's on 4 hedges overall, so if his injects are very good right now, he could probably defend it, but it will be very tough, because 2 Immortals in the back of this army against Roach only is... Yeah. It's always a hard time for the Zerg there.
I'm quite surprised that we actually haven't had that +1 going down for Protoss, like you said. I think that's...
He still has the money for it. I mean, he has 300 gas and 400 minerals, so he could have done +1 for a long time. And I really have to criticize Safa for not having creep spread out. Creep spread would be so helpful against this kind of army or this kind of attack.
I think he might have even crushed it before all
he
this
will
happened.
force field the ramp, I think.
Oh, if he does, that's going to be huge. And he does get some force fields down. Right now, it looks like Safa will have to move back forward. Oh, he's so far out of position here. He is going to be able to force field these ramps for a good portion of time. Eupopean gives some more sentries and will be able to separate up more of those roaches. PandaTank, he was looking a little bit down and out whilst dancing around the front of these bases, but now he's in an amazing position.
It's the best position you can get in. This is beautiful. He warped in a lot of sentries as well, so he got more force fields because he lost some before, you mentioned that. And now Safa's roaches are all out of position. He's somehow trying to get up the ramp, but PandaTank is aware of that, and he's constantly force fielding the roaches. So yeah, beautiful play here, and I'm pretty sure he will be able to clean up this army now and probably force him GG any second.
Yeah, there you go. GG, ladies and gentlemen. PandaTank takes the series 2-0, and again, that was in essence, I did feel that PandaTank was going to be waning a little bit there, but forcing that positioning, like luring his opponent out of position there to be able to establish himself on the high ground, just gives him that extra sense of dominance there. So that was really nice.
I love his shirt. We just have a shot there. It's great.
Yeah.
But
why not, man?
As you said, yeah, there was like the position he got in the end, going up the natural.
Yeah.
And then you have like those two entrances, and all the roaches were at the third. So it was so hard. Without burrow movement, you cannot get under the force fields.
And, well, I mean, technically, the observer would have ended up clearing out. But if he'd have had creep spread, he might have still been able to have vision of where the army was moving out in the front of his base.
That's a very good point. Like, not only the movement speed, but also the vision you get. I mean, obviously, the observer will kill some creep tumors, but the Protoss is scared to walk on creep. Like, if there's a lot of creep, you have to be scared with your army. Like, Stalkers, Immortals are not the quickest units in the game. They are kind of immobile. I mean, if you get Blink, then obviously it's not the point anymore. But in this case, they're kind of... They have to stick together, so once you're on the creep, you can get flanked kind of easy by the Zerg. But he knew there was no creep spread, and yeah, it was very nice executed. It looked the same as on the first map, so it looked like, hey, I'm clearing the rocks, I'm trying to get the third. And Safa even saw it with roaches.
He was like, okay, I just want a third, it's fine.
Yeah, and then he lost some roaches on the retreat, and then PandaTank, played it pretty well, I have to say. Like, congrats, 2-0. He's in the second round now.
Yes, he is.
Safa is not out. He's still in the tournament. He is in the lower bracket right now. And yeah.
Safa, I mean, PandaTank does advance, so he shall play the winner of Biggs or Enchanted, aka Megatron or
Really?
He has several names. He's an elusive character.
Okay. I see. He's Protoss, right?
Yes, he is Protoss, and again, he's going to be playing against Biggs at some point. So PandaTank will go up against either of those players. We don't know who Safa will go up against just yet, as he
we have
goes
to
down
wait.
to the loser bracket.
It was just the first match for today, so the bracket will evolve later on.
Very, very true. But again, ladies and gentlemen, huge thank you for joining us here at the World Championship Series Combined European Nationals. We have a fantastic lineup of players that we've already alluded to a little bit earlier on.
Indeed. I forgot to mention Monchi, by the way. When I named the favorites, I said it's Lowly, Biggs, and Night End.
Yeah.
But I really have to mention Monchi as well. Because Monchi, I think he's a very strong player. And he has very good PvP. And there's a lot of Protosses here. About his PvZ, I'd say it will be very hard against Biggs if he meets him.
And there Biggs is now.
Yep. It's my teammate. So I'm cheering a bit for him.
Hey, it's my teammate as well, kind of.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, actually, you're
Good
right.
Stuff.
And,
but I don't care about him. He's rubbish.
And we do see Safa. He doesn't look too happy.
No.
I mean, both games, he had a hard time. On the first map, I felt he really... It was just a wrong decision by him to try to finish the game that early.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, ladies and gents, we are going to throw it over to Zoe, and we'll be back with another game in just a bit.
And I'm now standing here with once more Grobby and, of course, PandaTank, who just won. So, guys, give it up for PandaTank. Won that first match we saw in a very convincing 2-0. So let's talk a little bit about the maps. Daybreak we saw first. First of all, let's throw a question at you. I mean, you must be happy pretty much right now. How did you feel the first map went for you?
I think the first map went pretty great. I was a little bit worried about nerfs going into it, but I just played my normal game and everything went to standard. So yeah, I felt pretty good after that. I knew I could definitely take the 2-0 in the series.
So you've been watching the first game, and I mean, Protoss on 3 bases is already very, very strong. What do you think would have been there for Safa to do to win that?
I think, well, I think Safa failed to recognize that PandaTank was already very ready for an attack of that magnitude. PandaTank, I think he just did everything right. The build order was very smooth. Well, I shouldn't be answering the whole. Now I'm doing analysis, but anyway, I think your build order was very smooth. And Safa, he came in. You already had your gateways and cannons going up. And did you know that he kept producing army? Did you see that with your observer? Or?
Yeah, I kept checking his main base with the observer, and I saw you're still on lair. He had the infestation pit, but he wasn't taking up to Brood Lords quite yet. So I knew he must still be making army, and I saw his whole army was collected outside my third, outside my natural. So I knew if I just waited till I got maxed, and a Protoss army clashing with the mid-tier Zerg, it's quite easy for the Protoss. So.
Yeah, it was a very smart decision, and yeah, he was actually on 58 drones throughout that, so quite a bit lower than you might expect when Zerg tries to go for the macro game. Yeah. Did you feel like he might try to drop your base? Because just as you moved out, you thwarted that completely.
I wasn't actually expecting that, although after it happened, I thought, because I saw a whole bunch of overlords sitting around, and I didn't click in my head, though, that he might try to drop me. But after it happened, I was like, oh, that's what those overlords were for.
They weren't just for creep.
But so, no, I wasn't expecting it. But I think at that point, although it was nice by him, he got the Nexus snipe, it wasn't that much of a big deal.
So if we talk about the second map, or Hannah, that was, first of all, it actually looked to me a bit like you will be down on it. I mean, he came in with 6 lings, which the cast has already pointed out is about 2 more than he would normally do. And he actually made a run by, and that can be very scary. What went through your mind at that very point of time?
Well, I mean, I think I speak for most Protoss players when I say I completely hate it when lings run into your base. But you just have to try to keep your composure. Don't let your build order slip. Don't lose too many probes. I think I could have handled it a little bit better, but it wasn't the worst case scenario either. So, and as Grubby pointed out, I actually missed my +1 attack upgrade in that game, and that wasn't intentional. It's actually I was just a little bit flustered from the lings in my base, and so I did mess up a little bit on my build order there.
I came after the game and said, hey Panda, that was so smart. You didn't make your attack upgrade to make it seem like you're not doing it all in. He's like, no, I actually just forgot.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think everyone must have really liked the move whereby you kind of maneuvered. You had pylons, you had prism, you kind of tried to press the point, but suddenly you went up to his natural, you saw a chance. That was a nice move.
Thanks.
It was very well played. So congratulations once again to you, and looking forward to see more games being played by you. So good luck in the further games in the tournament. And we're now throwing it over to our 2 commentators, Kalaris and Hazuops, and they're going to show you some bits of a replay which just has been played.
Thank you very much. We are back, and we are going to delve into the replays that we just saw to have a little bit of a look-see. Now, we have Hasu here, being our super camera operator, going to be able to take a look at what was going on in the first game on Daybreak, as we shall go over to the overlay in just a sec. So, I mean, what have we found? What have we discovered?
I just gonna clear out some points in the build of PandaTank because I think it was very smooth overall. So I skipped the opening. I mean, we don't have to see how he builds the Forge in the Nexus. So at this point, he already has the Robo. He made 2 Observer at this point, and he puts the 3rd Nexus. So let's go into the vision of PandaTank, and let's play this replay a little bit. So he saw the layers going up.